Good morning. Not sure where you're watching. It's actually technically still morning here too, but we're here with you on a Saturday and we're excited to be here with you today. And I'm sorry we're a few minutes late because I was keeping Brooke to myself. So I'm excited because today we get to have Brooke Eggen with us. Brooke is a advocate or advocate coordinator at Call to Peace Ministries. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? And I'm going to check to make sure that we are indeed live on our Facebook page. And if you're watching today, please come and say hello to Brooke and let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah, so my name is Brooke Eggen. I live in Washington State. I have 4 kiddos. I have been with Called to Peace Ministries since 2021, and I work as an advocate coordinator like Portia, who isn't here today. We're super sad. She's not feeling well. I'm obviously not all that great either, but I didn't give it to her because we live in different states. And and I work also as an advocate, and I love this ministry, and I'm super excited to talk about what's coming up.
Yes, I'm excited you're here. And yes, everybody say a prayer for Portia. She was supposed to join us today. I love when I get to talk to both Brooke and Portia together. And y'all have such an amazing expertise when it comes to the domestic violence. And these are our experts on our staff that I go to personally when I run into issues. And they are the people that oversee all of our advocates and help protect them. They're literally the people that have our advocates back and walk with them when they get into really difficult situations or don't know how to respond to something. And they're there. They support our advocates and make sure that they are not walking alone. So just say thank you to them in the comments because they are so amazing. I so appreciate them. But today we're going to be talking about a post maybe you saw, and maybe that's why you're here, is tomorrow is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Yay! This is like our moment to shine. It is our moment that we have the voice to say things that we cannot say other times of the year. It's our time to say, hey, we can talk about this a lot because it's our month. It's our month to speak about this. And it's our time to focus on this. So it is the biggest impact month of the year for the effort to expose domestic abuse and to bring it to light. And not only that, as a Call to Peace as a nonprofit, it is our time of the year to be able to support women and children walking through the impacts of domestic abuse, because this is our largest campaign of the year. And with the money that we earn, it goes towards our operational budget to be able to serve the influx of women that are reaching out to us. So we are excited. And if you join in with us on Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which we're going to talk about how you can make a huge dent. This is a month, y'all. If you want to make a difference and you say, I want to help a woman and give back, and I want to be more educated and I want to educate my followers, join us because this is the month to do it. So let's get started, Brooke.
Yes, that sounds awesome.
So I will start, I guess, with asking some questions, and we're just going to make it more conversational today. And I am excited about that too, because I love conversations with Brooke. So it's going to be encouraging. And I'm going to start with one of my favorite things about the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. That is the vigil.
Oh, yeah.
I was just talking to Brooke about this well, it wasn't yesterday, it was one day this week. And it's just that sometimes because it's online, you think, well, is that really impactful? Is it really effective? But it's incredible. So I'm gonna let Brooke tell about her experience with the domestic violence vigil, and then I'm in the planning side. Domestic violence vigil is my thing that I plan. So I have got some surprises that I'm going to release to you today that I have not told you about. That's going to happen at the vigil. So first, we're going to let Brooke tell about how the Domestic Violence Awareness Month vigil impacted her, and then I'm going to release the surprises.
Yeah. So I'll just be honest, I'm being a little vulnerable here, but I honestly, when I found out there was a vigil online, I was like, why? And I just couldn't. I was like, that's kind of odd, but I'm on staff, and I'm just sure, right, great, that's amazing. I got to the vigil, and I'm watching my friends and my advocates and my survivors and people I don't know talking about how impactful it was to have this live event that was done directed completely towards them and their healing and their story and their victories that they've made and their strength. And I was completely blown away. And I went from going like, why do we do this, to like, wow, God is so great because he is so powerful. And I just love it. And there's, the piece like where we read out all of the names, And it's just so powerful, I think, because women get to see like your name matters, and actually that friend or that loved one or that person you heard about on the news that lost their lives in their battle against domestic abuse, they are important too. And I just, it's such a beautiful thing. And I was so amazed by what God can do. That was really cool.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, the vigil online, I was wondering how that was going to go, but it was hugely impactful for me. And so last year was our first year doing it online. Our first year was in person. And so this year we're like, we really want to go all out again. And we want to make it, I don't think we can replicate and say, oh, we're going to make it bigger and better. That's not the point. But the point is we want to add to it and make it even more impactful and powerful. So the vigil this year, if you're watching, is October 26th at 8 p.m. So plan out your calendars, mark it now. It's on a Thursday, October 8th at 26 at 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. It's just an hour.
Which is Eastern time zone,
Oh,
friends.
yes. Thank you. I forget. I live in North Carolina. So invite your friends, invite other people to sit with you and watch it. It's your support group leader, invite your support group advocate, invite your advocate to watch it with you online and discuss it afterwards, because it is powerful. This year, we're going to have guest speakers, Leslie Vernick, Elise Fitzpatrick, and Darby Strickland. And we're going to be sharing about the insidious nature of domestic abuse and why we as Christians and churches can make a difference. And not only that, it's a time to honor and remember. So I've brought in 2 survivor stories that are coming. One is a woman is so precious. So she's in her photo today, and she will be in our banner tomorrow. It's a picture of her, and she's crying in the video in the banner that we'll be releasing tomorrow. It was taken at a retreat. She's aware that we're using her photo, and she's coming to speak to us and share her story as well. So that's going to be really cool. She's an advocate, actually.
Yep.
So, and then another person that's coming and sharing her story is a church partnership liaison. And she's going to be talking about growing up in domestic abuse. And that's going to be really powerful. And then not only that, this is where it gets amazing. There's going to be part of the event that's live at the Lake of New Life Camp. And so we will be releasing lanterns into the lake while the names are being read. But this is the cool part. So Lori Estelle is was our singer at the 2023 He Makes All Things New in Retreat, and she's coming back again this year.
Woo-hoo!
He has written a song called He Remembers Me. And I have not heard all of it, heard pieces of it, but she and another person are doing a duet and are singing and releasing this song for the first time for you. And I've heard pieces of it, and I will say I cried and cried and cried. It is the most beautiful thing ever. It's so healing, and it's so good to take that time of remembrance to remember and to reflect on God's goodness, and just to allow ourselves to feel what needs to be felt and what's stored within and come up, and also sit with other survivors and say, we aren't alone in this. God sees us, and together we can end this fight against domestic abuse by pulling as many women out of oppression as we possibly can. So I talked a lot here, so I'm gonna let Brooke, let's give it back to Brooke.
Yeah. So you want me to talk more about the vigil or other things we're doing this month?
Well, yes, did you have anything else you wanted to add about the vigil?
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for those in your life who are interested in domestic abuse ministry to come in and just view with you, or to send them the link, because we have so many big name speakers, people that they'll probably recognize, who are giving a very unique perspective on what is abuse, how does it impact victims, and then also just seeing, like in the live chat, you'll see victims are being impacted by what we're doing. And that can be really powerful for that person in your life who's like, well, I'm interested in this, but I'm not sure how interested I am, or I'm not sure what I think about Called to Peace Ministries. This will give them a really good taste for us and our perspective. And I happen to believe we have a really great perspective on all of this. And it's because we're so loving and we love Jesus, and we don't want to condemn anybody. We want to just say, like, here's a better way. Let's go this way, and let's learn together. And so that's a great opportunity for your pastor or your Bible study leader, or someone that you just know personally who is interested, but maybe not ready to go all in. And I just think that it's a great opportunity, and you're going to hear from these really great women who have a story and are going to be and are impactful. I mean, the woman who's coming tomorrow, who's an advocate, she has a very powerful story, and it's just such a beautiful thing to hear how God speaks. So it's really great.
Yes, and I just want to say too is that you can donate lanterns in the honor of other people. So it is a fundraising event for us as well. So all the money that you give, you can donate. I don't remember how much it is. But it's a very small amount to put somebody's name on a lantern and have it be read out loud, and all that money goes back into serving survivors. 100% of it.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool, amazing part of it as well, is that you can participate in that way and have somebody's name. So maybe encourage your church to share the vigil. And
Yeah.
since we're talking about churches, and maybe we're going to talk about that, and maybe you are a business owner, maybe you're a nonprofit owner, maybe you are very involved in your church, and you're like, is there a way I can use my business, my organization, my church? Can we put a dent on domestic abuse? Oh, yes, you can, because we have created something this year that is for businesses, churches, and nonprofits that you can do something. So, Brooke is going to help me here. I'll let her get ready. And we have created something called the Domestic Violence Marketing Toolkit. And so before anybody tunes out, please listen, because you can use this no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. Even if you just want to take the banner that's on there, you can turn your Facebook page. I saw somebody on our staff did this. You can take the Facebook page or your Facebook page and put your banner up. You can use the social media post yourself. You can use the bathroom stall post on your wall. You can use the video, all of it. There's so much there for you. So we want to show you what's there. And so are you ready, Brooke? Did
I
you
am.
She's
Yep.
techie, so I'm gonna let her do it.
Okay. All right. Can you guys see what I see?
Oh no, I have to let them in. There you go.
All right. So this is the Call to Peace website. I went to Call to Peace, and then I went to events, and I clicked on Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And then I rolled down here, and it says download a Domestic Violence Awareness Month marketing kit. Lauren didn't mention it, but one of the things that I think would be powerful too is some of us are involved in social groups like Kiwanis and Rotary Club and that kind of stuff. And this is another space where you might be able to share some of this information. That's just my little, hey. So if you click this one, it's going to download all of the files onto your computer, which is really convenient. And it also comes with like text and stuff. But here's that banner that Lauren was talking about that you can download. And when you download it, it just downloads as a JPEG, and then you can just upload it like any picture. Here's an invitation. It's a full-size paper, and you can use it to invite anybody, or like Lauren said, you have a business or your church or, any event you're going to be going to in this coming month. You can use this to invite them to the vigil. This is a sample email, which is really awesome because the words are already there. And it's basically an email just asking, giving you verbiage to talk to your church and announcing Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And then this is one specifically for churches. And then have you guys seen this video? If you haven't seen this video, oh my goodness, it is so powerful. I watched it with some of my advocates last week, and we were all in tears. It's so, so good. Really powerful. And it's a 2-minute, almost 3-minute video. And so like, it's the perfect thing for your church to be able to play, like they do with, like a CareNet Pregnancy Center or Crisis Pregnancy Center, just this 3-minute blurb video, just bringing awareness inside your church. And since it's short, it's kind of sweet, compact, and it's a really great way for your church to say that they are a place that welcomes women who are experiencing domestic abuse, and that they, they have resources, and that women can come to them, and it will be a safe experience. Here's the bathroom stall flyer. I love this because it's in the bathroom. Men can't come into the bathroom. So if she's in her church bathroom or in your work or what have you, your business, she can just scan this and she can come to our website and request an advocate. She can get more information, all of the things that she could want or need. Excuse me.
Yes, Brooke was not feeling well either.
Sorry.
So I'm praying for her.
It's been a week. Here's another banner. And then here's a PowerPoint slide. So, your church plays slides at the beginning of service. This is, they could pick one of these. It even has just all the information. A lot of these files also have verbiage attached to them, so that when you download them, they come with a text file, and it tells you exactly how to use it and what the fact sheets are, what the facts of domestic violence are. It's really, really helpful. And it makes talking to your church much simpler, because we're not asking you to come up with all this magic verbiage. I mean, you can. Some of you are really gifted in that way, and we invite you to share. But for those of us who are a little more like, I'm busy, or it's hard for me to think of what is good to say, this has been put together by people who are good at saying things, like Lauren and Mary, and it makes that process just a lot easier. So I did this last year. I shared with my church. They used one of the slides. We used one of the flyers. Yeah, it's a great way, and I'm super grateful, because it gives me verbiage to use with my church. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yes, Brooke. Thank you so much. I'm gonna
yeah,
pull screen share off here. Awesome. Well, thank you. So if you're seeing that, maybe you work at like a small restaurant or Panera. I don't know. It's just like that's in my mind. And maybe you can ask your boss to put these in the flyer for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, put them in the bathroom. How amazing is it to be able to know that you could save a woman's life? You could
mhm,
impact her. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about that this year, that we've expanded it, and I love the way they look. I'm thrilled to death.
they're
Everything looks,
beautiful. Yeah.
yes. And so next, we're going to get into sharing also, as we're talking about this. You can share social media posts. You can share our emails with people, or invite people to subscribe to our emails. And so throughout this month, we are going to be, I decided this year, or we decided, excuse me, we're going to really focus heavy on the insidious nature of domestic abuse. We're also going to focus on overcoming post-traumatic growth. Then we're going to focus on a slight bit on the impacts of children, but we're coming at it with a different angle than what we normally do. And then we're also going to focus on domestic abuse when it's cloaked in Christianity. And
Oh,
so, yeah, it's going to be good. And we're bringing in top experts. So this month you can expect to be, I mean, everybody. I'm like, who do I even name? Chris Moles, Darby Strickland, Sheila Gregoire, Andrew Bauman, uh, Najina Otiende. We have Nagme is coming back with her friend Miriam. We have Rebecca Davis. I'm trying to think. Sarah McDougall, Emily Anderson are both doing an interview together with me. And then we have Beth Broom. It's an incredible Bruce from Eden podcast. It's an incredible lineup of multiple of people that are coming in that are experts that we could find in this field, and they are sharing their expertise with us on how domestic abuse is insidious, and they're going at it from their unique wheelhouse, their perspective of where they shine. And so I think this is just going to be super powerful. And I'm going to be doing reels from each of the interviews. So those reels are like a minute long. So the most powerful points that I thought of, or we thought were powerful. And so you can share those with people, like short clips or interviews. Share them with people, invite them to listen in, and to encourage them to get educated on domestic abuse and what it looks like. And we're going to be talking a lot about, well, why does she remain silent? How can a woman live in this and not know it's domestic abuse? How can he be a Christian and live like that? And we're going to take that, and our theme is we're just going to rip open the veil, and we're going to say,
mm,
yes, this is how the girl that's in the banner that's crying, you see the ripped little page, and it's like that. That's what we're doing. We're showing you her oppression. We're going to rip open the veil, and we're going to say, this is how it hides. This is how it's insidious. This is how it operates, and this is how it works. And church, this is how you can help end domestic abuse. Christians, this is how you can walk alongside her. So it's going to be powerful. It's just, we're going to about generational abuse, and we're just going to lay it out. So I'm excited for that, as you can
I'm
tell.
so I'm so excited. I can't believe it. I feel like you'll be able to go to our website, or I mean our Facebook page, and just get an entire domestic violence education, right? Like just so much goodness. And guys, I know Lauren's always, telling everybody else how great everybody else is, but I just want to tell you, like, this is Lauren. She did this. She reached out to these people. She got them to come, and I just think she deserves a little round of applause, because
Well, thank
she worked
you.
so hard
I
to get
love
this.
it. So it's fun.
I know you do, and I love my work too, but there's nothing wrong with us pointing out how powerful her ability to make connections and to keep up connections is really part of why this ministry, it's the tools that God uses through Lauren to make our Facebook page so successful, draw these really amazing speakers in. I'm just so grateful for her, because she does such a great job with it. So
Yeah. I love it. I love what I
I
get to
know
do.
you do.
It's
I love
amazing.
that about
It has
you.
a lot of hard aspects to it too. We
Yeah,
all know. I,
exactly.
yeah, the world of domestic abuse is amazing privilege to walk in, but it's also, it has a lot of aspects of challenges and things like that as well. But it's like sometimes I feel like definitely in this work, we are bringing in the light of Christ. And when you do that and you fight against Satan's kingdom, Lord have mercy. Satan just comes after you and our people with a field day. So if you're saying, hey, there's not much I can do, please just pray. Just pray
Yeah.
for the women, pray for Brooke, pray for myself, pray for the staff, and pray that a hedge of protection is around us and our families. And just pray for strength and endurance, because this is God's work. And that is
Mhm.
what's so important. And all of this is fought in prayer and letting, and a huge part of my work, I'll say, is like, it's Holy Spirit. I tell everybody it's Holy Spirit.
Absolutely.
The Holy Spirit tells me what to say. I sit down and I pray and I'm like, okay, Jesus, how does this go? Okay, Jesus, help me here. Help me organize this. So it's Holy Spirit driven. And this, because this is God's heart for you. This is God's
Mhm.
heart for the oppressed. And so I just think that if you want to be involved too, just pray over the staff, pray over all this, pray over the women, because ultimately it's the blinders on their eyes that Satan's put there that's keeping
Mhm.
them in bondage. And it's
Yeah,
prayer is the greatest work of all. And
exactly.
so it's just like Satan doesn't want them to be free because Satan hates,
Mhm.
Satan
Mhm.
hates, or Satan loves oppression because it mocks God, but
Mhm.
Jesus for the oppressed. And
Mhm.
so I just remind myself of that. This is his battle, and I fight it with nobody else but Jesus. And it's called to be staff that has my back, and I have all their backs. So it's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah, so good, so good. And I think that's the other thing that's so powerful about this month too, is just this idea that we're all joining together. Like, um, all the other months of the year, you could, I mean, we're all posting and sharing, but this is a month where it's just set aside. It's known this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so it gives it more weight, and we can unite our voices together to try to pull back the veil and pull and give these women light where they feel darkness. I know if I had seen a banner in my bathroom at my church, I can't tell you how what a blessing that would have been to me. Because as I was beginning to wonder if what I was living in was abuse, I didn't have any resources that I thought were safe to look at. Right? I was very brainwashed into thinking that only non-Christians get divorced, and that God hates divorce, so therefore He must hate all forms of divorce. And if someone had given me an opportunity to come to our Facebook page, or, and this is before Called to Peace, but, had gone to a Facebook page or watched a live with Lauren and Joy, that could have been a changer for me. It could have been the ability for me to see, like, oh, actually, it doesn't say God hates divorce. It says God hates a violent man who divorces his wife. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh.
Yes.
Look that up and study it for myself. It would have just been so powerful, and I would have had, in a church like that, I would have had the freedom to go to the pastors and say, man, this is really rough for me, is what can we do, and
Mm-hmm.
not be so afraid that if I tell them what's going on in my home, that they're going to judge me or they're going to do what the other churches had done already, and so I really feel like it's such a great place. And even if it's just one woman who has this, in your church, like if you're able to just say, I don't know how that would work for you. You can have a table out or what have you, but just one voice that you could go and talk to as a survivor. If I had had one voice to go and see at my church or in a safe place that I believed would support that, I went to Bible study fellowship too, those kind of Bible studies. If you're a Bible study leader, like it just would have been a safe space for me to kind of explore and begin to peel back the layers that I had put on myself too. Like I was very convinced that divorce was the worst possible thing, rather than realizing that God doesn't want me to live in oppression for the rest of my life, and that there were ways to love my husband really well that eventually ended in divorce. But it wasn't because I wanted that; it was because that's what he refused to change and repent. So, and that
Yeah.
was life saving for me and my family.
Yes. Yes. I'm so glad that you connected with Cult of Peace. I wish we connected on the first retreat, and I'm like, I missed it. I wasn't there at that retreat. And so I think we came in about the same time, and just seeing, yes, the lifeline, it was for me as well. And that give this lifeline to somebody else. And you just don't know how it could save her life or impact her,
Yeah.
to know there's somebody out there that's going to finally believe her and
Mhm.
finally give words to what her body is really screaming out inside of: something's wrong and I don't have the words to describe what's happening in my marriage. And that's such a powerful thing. And it's amazing too, because like I love Call to Peace Ministries. I obviously I love it because I work here, but I really do, is that you don't, it's amazing, but I'm trying to say into whatever your role is with Call to Peace, like whether you're an advocate or a support group leader or you're a partner or whatever it is, you don't have to walk this alone. Like
Mhm,
that's what's amazing. You don't have
mhm,
to sit there and help this woman. That's overwhelming if you think you're
mhm.
going to do it by yourself or get
Right.
somebody out of domestic abuse. Send them through Call to Peace. We have a process where she will be fully taken care of. We have a process for her advocacy, a process for everything, so that we are walking alongside her and we have the resources to be able to support her and the expertise to be able to help her in ways that may be too much for you to try to figure out on your own. And so I just love that aspect. It's not that overwhelming to say here's a flyer, here's a post. Doesn't mean you have to do anything else. You can give them, request an advocate and get some help, and here you go, let somebody else talk to her and process it. And there's people that are sitting by, our advocates, our support group leaders, that are ready. This is their calling. They're like, I feel called to do this. I feel called to walk with her in this, and they will walk with her in it. So you just got to share and get them to her, get them to, yeah, her, the advocates, and they will help. So I just love that aspect. Yes. And is there anything else you wanted to share?
I was just gonna say you're reminding me, of course, of the advocacy training classes that we offer. So if you are somebody who is um, finding that these women are in your life, either because it's part of your story or because you're just a compassionate ear, we do offer a year-long training. It's about 96 hours, which is a lot of training, but if it's, and it feels like a lot of a commitment at the beginning, but it's very powerful. It's all research based, which means it's truth based, and it just guides you through the process of what does it look like to support a woman coming out of abuse. And when you finish that program, or about halfway through, actually, you can, if you're interested, you can become an affiliated advocate, and then you have Portia or I or any other advocate coordinator that might be in the future supporting you as you do this together. And it is really can be really redemptive for your own story. I know it is for mine. God gave me the ability to kind of live in this world that's not easy, like Lauren said, but it doesn't have the same impact on me as it would on other people, just because that's the grace of the Lord in my life. And I love it. And I get life
Mm-hmm.
from serving these women. And with the education that I've gotten, um, it's really helpful because, like Joy said, the very first year I went through, and I think she still says it, but don't make the same mistakes that her and Dr. Deborah made. And so they're so humble and so kind to teach us well. And it's a great education, even if you maybe don't want to become an advocate, but you just want to have better information, or you're a counselor and you just want to understand the dynamics of abuse better, or you're a pastor and you're seeing that, man, this is happening in my church, this dynamic, and I don't know how to handle this well. It's a great opportunity for you to get some education and to really open the doors for your ability to see, how do we support these families that are experiencing this, both the men and the
Yes.
women. So
I'm so glad you share that. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because maybe there's people who are watching, and we're always going to talk about advocacy courses. And you're like, I feel called into this. Trust me, y'all, you don't want to do it without the advocacy courses. You don't want to walk through this alone. Like, this is there to support you through 80, I mean, between Brooke, I mean, and well, I think it's, sorry, Joy and Dr. Deborah, there's 80 years of experience, okay? 80 years of
yep.
experience and then they've created processes of a proven method that works so you can avoid pitfalls. Because walking into this alone without support can be, you can make mistakes and you could end up harming them, or you could end up harming yourself by putting yourself in harm's way. So it is just very important
Yeah.
that you are trained and have support to walk with women through this. And I've been through the advocacy course two or three times now, and I have affiliated as an advocate. I don't walk with women one-on-one very much, but that's not my role. My role is this, and this is how I use it. So it has
Mhm.
been hugely beneficial in my life. So maybe you're just an advocate that wants to, I don't know, write a book or to talk about it or to educate, and I
Right.
don't know what your sphere of influence is. It's a great course. It is so good to be equipped and to be ready to, yeah, understand domestic abuse and serve women.
Yeah. It really
Yes.
is
And
powerful. Yeah.
yeah, oh yes,
Were
and
we
we
gonna
have one more thing you can do too, and that is crowdfund with us. And I do want to talk about that. And I
Yeah.
know that seems very overwhelming and intimidating, because I mean, I see crowdfunding, I'm like, what is this? So I have to ask my friends for money. How does this work? Oh no, we're going to walk alongside you in that process. It's very simple. It's very easy. You will get all the materials you need. You can send out emails, and send your friends emails. It's kind of like, when you do the school raffles and you fundraise for something going on at school, and you're helping support your daughter's school or whatever it is that you're doing. It's similar to that, where you have all the material that you need, and you're just reaching out to your network and saying, this is an organization, from your personal story of why this organization is important to you and why you want to tell them about it. And that is huge for Call to Peace Ministries, because of that, we have connected with a lot of new people that have been able to partner alongside us in multiple ways, because they saw, people we don't know. And because you sent them an email, they too were passionate about this work, and they didn't know we existed. And so now they're like, I want to partner, I want to be involved, I want to help and serve. And now this person's able to be involved and impact so many more people. So you just don't know who in your network and influence may want to partner with us and may want to serve alongside us. And you don't have to send it to everybody on your email list. It's just send it to those that you know are interested, and invite them to partner with us and do things. And there's some really cool stuff people have done with the crowdfunding. I know there was one guy that fundraised, and he was walking, I think, X amount of miles. It was called Walking in Her Shoes, X amount of miles. I can't remember how many in the month. And you pledged him to walk these miles. So you can be super creative with it. I don't know. I mean, hey, you can do a thing where you're like, I'm wearing purple every Friday. Join me, and as I do this support, like, you can get as creative as you want. I know that they do that for, I think it's Human Trafficking Month. They do wear black. I think it's on certain days of the week and things like that. So you can do all types of things along those lines, and people pledge when you do the thing. So just research it and say, hey, how can I make this unique and powerful? Or you can just send out the emails and materials. You don't have to do it, but you can get creative with it. And it's fun because you get to be involved and give back and make a difference.
Yeah. And it makes a huge difference, right? Because again, like everything that Lauren and I have been saying, the advocacy training, Lauren and I's jobs, they're all supported this way. Helping women, our emergency fund, all the things that we do are donor supported. And so that's how we continue to be able to keep the ministry going forward. And it's not, yes, we need big donors, but it's the little donors that keep everything running. And so I just think it's really important, and it's, you'll be amazed. Like, I did it last year. And I was amazed at the people who were like, yes, I'm absolutely going to support you, and I was so blessed because some of them were just saying, I love your story. I love your courage for speaking out. And I just want to say, I want to support this ministry because of your courage. And that was huge for me. I felt so seen and loved by some of the people in my circles. And, I just sent it out to a few people, and I set myself a goal and I work on it. I'll tell you, I work for the ministry, and some days I'm like, whoa, this is a lot, but I just trust that God has a plan. And this year we do have somebody who's utterly dedicated to doing crowdfunding. And I've already gotten a text and an email from her, and she's so encouraging and sweet. And so I'm just really grateful for her willingness to come alongside us. And she, if you have any questions, I can text her and be like, hey, I don't understand. What do I need to do next? And she can just give me my next steps. So, it's really amazing. And it's very easy to set up. Did we tell them how to set it up?
I'm dropping in a link right now. And so I'm going to put that all in there. So you look into the comments on there where Brooke showed you in the live, where the marketing kit next to that is crowdfunding. And so click that. And sometimes too, I will say, you may feel like, okay, I enjoy giving to Call to Peace. I work there, but I still do and give my small amount with my monthly donation. And that's very rewarding to me to know that, it's small amounts, like $50, but to me, I know what that money does. I know that goes to help a woman that's in gives a woman two intake calls that are in dire desperation that say, I need help me discern domestic violence. And that's huge in my heart. Somebody just to listen to her and sit with her and hold space. And I know these intake coordinators, I know what they're here, how they're sitting with her. And I'm like, I believe in you. I'm going to support what that's going on, because that's so needed. It's the hands and feet of Jesus. And I get to be part of it. And that's so cool. And it's great. I can give large amounts. Absolutely not. But there's other people that I know that may be able to in my sphere of influence. And that's so cool. And it feels embarrassing sometimes because for me, Mary's worked, she's our director at development, has worked with me a lot. And like, that's a little much for me to ask for money. I can't do that. But she's like, no, why is that hard? Like, in a nice way. But she's like, donating and giving money is just as spiritual as a Bible study. Would I not invite my friends to a Bible study that I felt would really impact their life? Why? Of
Right.
course I would. So for me saying, hey,
Mhm.
when you invite a donor into this work, you're allowing God to transform their hearts, because God says he transforms our hearts through giving. You're inviting him to be
Yeah.
part of God's work, and
Yeah.
you're inviting him to be them to be the answers to somebody else's pleas and prayers for God. And then they get to hear
Mhm.
stories, because we're going to connect. We connect with all of our donors. I call them, Mary calls them, we have other people, we call them, we talk to them, and we hear. So they're going to get to hear back from us more about how their donations are impacting women. They will get to hear stories of what is happening in their lives, and that
Mhm.
transformed their hearts. I sit on the other end and hear how that's transformed them. And so it's just so cool
Mhm.
to get to invite people to be part of this work. It's part of doing what God calls us to
Mhm.
do, and that's to advocate for the oppressed and to let them be part of it and reap
Mhm.
rewards in eternity. So I knew that was kind of cool to me.
No, it's really cool, and I think the other thing that's really cool about this, our volunteers, our donors, um, I guess that pretty much covers it, is just I have they feel that this is as much their
Oh,
ministry as it
yes.
is the people who work here, and I love that. That is such a beautiful thing, and we welcome that and want that, and if this is the thing that you're passionate about, it's like I love what Lauren said, like, this is invite them in because this is
Mhm.
a sacred space, ask them to join the Lord in this space. Ask them to be prayerful about it. What is the Lord asking from them? I mean, I just love this idea that yes, of course, if I was going to a great Bible study, I would want my friends to come, and if I wanted them to, if I want them to receive blessing from the Lord and to know Him better and deeper, then why wouldn't I ask them to partner in this ministry with us? And you get a sense of ownership because we do call you because you realize that we are just a very small ministry, and so every little dollar helps, and it makes a huge difference in the lives of survivors who are coming out of abuse and their children, and the churches that they're attending. It's an amazing and impactful ministry, and yeah, like I just love this idea, and it's so cool because you are a part of this, and we welcome you and we want you here, and your voice matters. That's the other thing about having phone calls is that we're talking to you, but you're talking to us, and so that is really powerful too. So
Yes,
I
me
love it.
too. I love that what you said there is they feel it's our ministry. That's like art. Like that is in
Hmm.
Mary. I love Mary because everybody knows. Looks at my Facebook page. I write nice birthday messages. Love Mary. I work very directly with her closely, and she's like, Lauren, this isn't. They give us money so we can do the work. She's like, the work is them donating. They are the work with us. It's not two
Hmm.
separate things. We're not saying give
Yeah,
us money so we can go do
absolutely.
something. We're saying partner with us, join
Hmm.
us. We invite you to be with
Hmm.
us because we see it as co-laborers. What you're doing and your offering to Jesus
Hmm.
is just as significant as Brooke's and my offering to Jesus to sit with a woman in this, or to what I do, education and marketing, whatever. That type of stuff is just a
Hmm.
sacred space. It's just how God has called you to
Yes,
meet him at
absolutely.
his altar. And that's what I love. And we
Yeah.
are in this together. It's a fight together to end domestic abuse. And I want to say a shout out to our prayer partners. There's women out there that I know that call me. I'm thinking one in particular is probably watching. And they pray with me and they speak truth over me and they fight alongside all kinds of peace because they're praying and warring with us. And those people are just as much part too because it's important. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I can't wait. And so if you're watching this, you're like, hey,
Yeah.
yeah, invite you to partner with us, join us, be part of the ministry, come see what God's doing, come ask him how he wants to be part of it. Donate, get involved with crowdfunding, share a marketing toolkit, reach out to a woman, share a reel, share a video, share a post. And together we're
Yeah.
making a difference. Each small action is making such an incredible difference. And it's not only that, it's worshiping Jesus. It's our offering to him. And when I'm able to say, hey, Lord,
Yeah.
I'm going to speak the truth today and share this, whatever it is God's leading me to share, that's my offering to Jesus, to share the truth that with other women,
Yeah.
because these are the treasures Jesus has given me, and I'm able to give them back to other people. So these
Yeah.
are your treasures, your network, your finances, or your giftings, whether it's advocacy, counseling, whatever it is. Use those and invite them into this ministry with us. Invest your talents with us is basically what we're saying, and we need your support and invite you to be part of it and to um, serve Jesus with us. And so I really hope you'll join us for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. She matters to God. The 1 in 3
Yeah.
matters to God. Her tears are seen, her pleas and her prayers are answered. And that's so cool that we get to be part of that. And I'm just praying that God, yes, brings in many more women through this, and many more women are set free from oppression and know the love of Christ, because that's truly our hearts. So,
Yeah. Couldn't say it
is there
better,
anything
Aunt
else you
Lauren.
want to add to that, or your closing?
No,
Well,
that
I'm
was
excited for
perfect.
it, obviously. Yeah, so come join us. Be with us.
Yes,
And
join us.
yeah, I look forward to seeing all of y'all through Domestic Violence Awareness Month, through your comments, your posts, your shares. I look forward to them because I see them all and I'm like, oh, I feel like I know you because I know so many of y'all comment a lot. And I'm like, oh, I wonder who this person is. I want to meet them. I feel like I know them in real life because I see their interacting, and that makes a huge difference. And I feel like we're partnering together too. So thank you for joining with us. And yeah, we're excited that you're here, and hope you have a good day. And we will see you soon.